Do you guys know what was my worst moment when building my OnlyFans agency? The moment I realized I have built everything based on a weak system. I sent $1,500 worth of iPhones to a VA and I never saw them again. This is not about renting iPhones. This is about stopping your agency from being weak. When you start your agency, you do the logical things. You buy a few iPhones, you hire a couple VAs, you ship them the phones. And if that goes well, you replicate that system over and over again. And without realizing, you have built everything based on shipping, trust, and luck. And let me tell you, those three things will never scale your agency. To add on that, your VA will also need full account credentials, the emails, and the two-factor authenticator. 1 week later, your VA leaves and your accounts are potentially gone too. At that moment, you realize one thing: your accounts are your biggest assets and you have not been protecting them. That's why iRemotech was created. Not really to rent real iPhones, which is cool, but to make sure your agency doesn't depend on trust and luck anymore. So now on this view, you will have access to all your phones within your agency. If we click connect, we'll go inside an iPhone. And the good thing, you can do the same that you would do on a regular phone, right? You can move around, you can scroll, you can open IG. So inside IG, again, you can do exactly the same that you would do with a regular iPhone. You can see all the controls are very intuitive. You can go inside an account, you can send a message, you can follow, you can publish reels, stories, carousel, you name it, you can do it as long as you can do it on a regular phone. Another very cool feature that big agencies love is the ability to control multiple phones at the same time. So for instance, here we have four phones open and we can individually control one of them, right? For instance, let's open IG. Okay, we can scroll, amazing. But we can also do this on multiple phones at the same time. Like, hey, let's for instance open IG in all of them. And this saves a lot of time and money. On here, what we have is your stats dashboard. Here you will be able to see how many devices you have, but also how many devices are currently being in use. So for instance, we have here 24 devices streaming right now. If we scroll down a bit, we can see what workers are working right now and what devices they're controlling. As you can see, some workers manage multiple phones at the same time. That's because they have the multi-view option, which they can work with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 phones at the same time, which gives them more speed. But most importantly, you can also control in what phones they're currently working and for how much time they have been there to prevent having a VA open a phone for 4 hours when you know the task will only take them 10 minutes. This way you can control them and make sure they're all the time doing what they are supposed to be doing. Now, on this section is where you will be able to manage the accesses of all your employees. So let's take, for instance, this person, right? She has access to 17 devices. Let's try to remove a few devices from her. All right, you can see the number here is going down, so we can quickly decide how many phones she can have access to. Okay, now she has 10 phones. All right, let's give her access again to a few devices. We just have to click on them one time and then click save. Very, very easy. Here we can block her, here we can delete her, and here, super important, if you're scaling, you can add and invite new users. They will receive an email to create an account, and in 1 minute, they will be able to have access to all the dashboards again, or just for certain phones. This is up to you and whatever role you give them. But with this, we can make sure of one thing. You no longer have to ship phones and you no longer need to give credentials to your VAs. That's how you scale with control, efficiency, and you will never depend on trust and luck anymore. And that's the system you need to make a lot of money and scale your agency to the next level. All right, if you made it this far, you already get it. This is no longer about renting real iPhones. This is about stopping your agency from being fragile. If you're ready to scale without losing control, without depending on random workers, and without multiplying your cost, go check out our website. You have everything there you need to get started today. See you on the next one. Bye.